His reign is already solidified and virtually unchallenged. PJ Tucker is the NBA sneaker king. He has shoes in his collection that hypebeasts can't even cop, and he actually wears pairs that the biggest sneakerheads in the world wouldn't even dare to unbox. With playing basketball and sneakers, there's no line, Tucker told Joe La Puma on Complex of Sneaker Shopping in early March. If I have them, I'll play them. And on the huge stage of the NBA playoffs, Tucker didn't hold back. In Houston's 17 games in the 2018 postseason, Tucker broke out 22 different pairs of size 14s, while averaging 8.9 points, 6.5 rebounds, and shooting 46.7% from the three-point range. He wore Jordans, LeBrons, Kobe's, KD's, Kyrie's, you name it. He found sneakers that were only meant to be sported by high school players and represented it on his feet colleges the former University of Texas student never attended. This is a complete list of some of the shoes that PJ Tucker wore in Rockets games during the NBA playoffs. Tucker walked through the tunnel of the Toyota Center before the Rockets postseason opener with a pair of flu game Air Jordan 12s in his left hand. He then warmed up in a pair of stealth Air Jordan 3s. Come game time, he ran up and down the hardwood in two more pairs of kicks. The Four Horsemen, Nike LeBron 3 lows during the first half, and the Rossa Corsa Air Jordan 32s during the second half. What a way to start off the playoffs, with 4 different sneakers. Sitting courtside during Game 2 of the Western Conference quarterfinals, rapper and Rocket superfan Travis Scott, a native of Houston, donned a pair of his own signature shoes, the Cactus Jack Air Jordan 4s. On the court, Tucker wore them too. It's worth noting the shoes, inspired by the colors of the city's former NFL franchise, the Houston Oilers, haven't officially dropped yet, and won't until late June. But Trav and Tucker debuted the Heat, which the Rockets forward wore only briefly. In the second half against Minnesota, he played in a pair of playoffs Air Jordan 13s. Game 3, April 21st, custom Air Jordan 11 Aces Nike Air Maestro 2 trifecta. It took only 3 games for Tucker to break out some custom kicks, a pair of white Air Jordan 11s dubbed the Aces. On the heel of the shoes, a red spade replaces the traditional Jumpman logo, and PJ4 replaces Michael Jordan's jersey number in the thinly lined trademark script. Tucker switched his shoes in the locker room at halftime on the road Game 3. This time it was the pair of a trifecta Air Maestro 2s, worn by Scottie Pippen in a triple-double performance in the 1993 NBA Finals from Nike's Art of a Champion collection. Game 4, April 23rd, Nike LeBron 12 low. In Game 4 against Minnesota for the first time in the playoffs, Tucker wore only one pair of shoes, white, gray, and red Nike LeBron 12 lows. Perhaps he left his second half sneaks in his hotel room, or maybe he just got tired of spoiling us with a footwear fashion show. Game 5, April 25th, Air Jordan 32 JBC Air Jordan 10 Dark Shadow. On April 8th, Michael Jordan's billion-dollar company hosted its annual showcase for the nation's top high school prospects. While competing in the Jordan Brand Classic, young stars wore pairs of player-exclusive PE Air Jordan 32s embossed with JBC 2018 logos on the midsole and tongue. Tucker is 33, a decade and a half removed from his prep days at William G. Enlow High in Raleigh, North Carolina, but somehow he landed all 5 pairs of shoes that every JBC player received, including the PE 32s, which he rocked a few weeks after the high school All-Star game in a closeout Game 5 win over the Timberwolves. For the second half, he swapped out the 32s for a pair of Dark Shadow Air Jordan 10s, which were released on April 20th. Game 1 vs Utah Jazz, April 29th, Nike Kyrie 1 Warhawk. Before Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Houston Rockets and Utah Jazz, a photo surfaced of Tucker sitting in his team's dressing room as he sifted through a huge pile of sneakers and boxes that flowed out of his locker. For the series opener, he decided to throw it back with a pair of Warhawk Nike Kyrie 1s, which are inspired by the World War II-era Curtiss P-40 fighter aircraft. The shoes were released in 2015 and were given exclusively to high school and college players who participated in the Nike Basketball Academy in the Barker Hangar at Santa Monica, California's airport. But of course, Tucker got his hands on a pair because the shoe term limited edition means absolutely nothing to him.